Hello and welcome, my dear friend. It's time for you to live a life full of blessings and abundance, and you're here because you sense that there's more to experience. You're absolutely right. As a chosen one, your thoughts, your energy, and even the way you think about money have the power to change not only your life, but the lives of your family and those around you. In this new world we're stepping into, money isn't just a tool for survival, it's a force for good. When you shift your mindset and see money as a way to bring more light, more abundance, and more blessings to the world, everything changes. Thinking right about money can open doors you never knew were possible. You know, money is something that many people have mixed emotions about. Some see it as a necessary evil, while others view it as a source of stress. But as a chosen one, you have the ability to think differently about money. You have the power to see it not as something that controls you, but as a tool that you can use for good. You can harness the energy of abundance and direct it toward creating positive change in your life and in the lives of others. The first thing to understand about money is that your thoughts shape your reality. This is a universal truth that applies to every aspect of your life, including your financial situation. If you believe that money is scarce, that it's difficult to come by, or that it's only for the few, then that is the reality you will continue to experience. But if you change your mindset and begin to see money as something that is abundant, something that flows to you easily and effortlessly, your life will begin to shift in ways you never imagined. God gives you the power to co-create your life under His provision, and that includes your ability to improve your financial situation. When you think of money in a positive way, when you believe that you deserve it and that it is available to you, you begin to attract more of it into your life. This is not just about wishful thinking. It's about aligning your energy with the energy of abundance. As you renew your mind, you stop missing what God has already been trying to place in your hands. Money is not just paper, coins, or numbers in a bank account. At its core, money is energy. It's a form of exchange that allows us to give and receive. When you begin to see money as energy, you realize that it is not something to be feared or avoided, but something to be embraced. Like all forms of energy, money flows where it is welcomed, where it is treated with respect, and where it is appreciated. As a chosen one, you have a unique ability to tap into this flow of energy. You can align yourself with the frequency of abundance by changing the way you think and feel about money. Instead of seeing it as something that is hard to get or something that only others can have, start seeing it as something that is already on its way to you. When you shift your thoughts to a place of gratitude and appreciation for the money you have and for the money that is coming, you open yourself up to receiving even more. It's important to recognize that your relationship with money is not separate from your spiritual path. Many people think that being spiritual means rejecting material wealth, but this is not true. As a chosen one, your role is to use the resources available to you to make a positive impact on the world. Money is simply one of those resources. When used correctly, it can be a powerful tool for good. One of the most beautiful things about abundance is that it doesn't just benefit you, it benefits everyone around you. When you are financially abundant, you are in a position to help others. You can support your loved ones, contribute to causes that matter to you, and create opportunities for others to thrive. As a chosen one, your abundance creates a ripple effect that touches the lives of many. Imagine what would happen if more chosen ones embraced their financial power. This is the world we are moving toward, a world where money is no longer seen as something that corrupts, but as something that empowers. Your financial abundance is not just for you, it is for the world. When you are abundant, you are able to give more, do more, and be more. You are able to use your resources to create a better world for yourself and for others. This is why it is so important to shift your mindset about money. It's not just about improving your own life, it's about creating a positive impact that extends far beyond you. Many of us have grown up with limiting beliefs about money. We've been told that it's the root of all evil, that it's hard to come by, or that it's only for a select few. These beliefs are deeply ingrained in our subconscious minds, and they can prevent us from experiencing the financial abundance that is our birthright. As a chosen one, it is your responsibility to break free from these limiting beliefs. You must recognize that these thoughts are not truths. They are simply ideas that have been passed down from generation to generation. It is time to release these old beliefs and replace them with new, empowering ones. Instead of seeing money as something that is scarce, begin to see it as something that is abundant. Instead of believing that you have to work hard and struggle to earn money, start believing that it can come to you easily and effortlessly. Instead of thinking that only others can be wealthy, know that you too deserve to be financially abundant. As a chosen one, you have a higher purpose in this world. You are here to fulfill a mission, to make a difference, and to help raise the collective consciousness. Money is one of the tools that can help you fulfill that mission. When you have financial abundance, you are able to focus on your purpose without the distractions and stress of financial lack. Think about it. When you are constantly worried about paying bills, meeting ends, or surviving financially, it's hard to focus on your spiritual path. But when you are financially abundant, you have the freedom to devote more time and energy to your mission. You are able to invest in yourself, in your growth, and in your spiritual development. You are able to give more to others and to support causes that align with your higher purpose. Money allows you to do more good in the world. It gives you the freedom to live in alignment with your values and to create the life that you have always envisioned. It is not something to be feared or avoided. It is something to be embraced and used for the greater good. Now that you understand the influence your thoughts and beliefs have on your financial reality, it's time to explore how you can attract more success into your life. Start by practicing gratitude each day, appreciating the money you already have, no matter how small. This opens you to receive more. Visualizing abundance is another powerful tool. Take time to imagine yourself living a financially abundant life, feeling the emotions of joy and gratitude as if it's already true. Shift your mindset by affirming positive beliefs about money, replacing any limiting thoughts with statements like, "Money flows to me easily," and "I am worthy of abundance." Giving freely is also key, as generosity from a place of abundance signals trust in the universe's flow, creating space for more to come. Lastly, inspired action is vital. While your thoughts and beliefs are powerful, it's important to follow your intuition and take action toward your financial goals, trusting that God will guide you in the right direction. As more chosen ones begin to shift their mindsets about money, we will see a transformation not just in individual lives, but in the world as a whole. When those who are spiritually aligned and connected to God's purpose have financial abundance, they're able to make a real, tangible impact on the world. You are a part of this shift. By changing your thoughts about money, you are contributing to a new world where wealth is used for good, where abundance flows freely, and where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Your financial success is not just for you, it is for the world. And as you embrace this truth, you will begin to see the universe respond in ways that are beyond your wildest dreams. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. There are moments God records that never trend, never get clapped for, and never get explained to you in real time. Yet they carry more authority than 1,000 public wins. Chosen ones, you've already lived one. It didn't look like triumph. It looked like you choosing a different way, while nobody was watching closely enough to call it brave. It looked like you pausing when your old self would have snapped. It looked like you refusing to become fluent in the same chaos that raised you. And in the unseen, that moment hit like a verdict, not a performance, a decision. Heaven responds to alignment that costs you something, and you choose it anyway. The kind of alignment where your hands are steady on the outside, and inside you're shaking because you're doing what you've never done before. Picture a courthouse where a case has been moving through the same slow system for years. Everyone expects the same outcome, the same delays, the same paperwork. Then a judge enters, reads one sentence, and everything changes. The building doesn't shake, the cameras don't flash, but the authority in the room shifts the trajectory of that file instantly. Chosen ones, here's what this is about. God isn't hoping things work out. He's moving with authority over what has been cycling in your life. And when God decides, this ends here, it doesn't require a public announcement. It requires a spiritual decision, often one you already made. God is making an exception for you, not because God is inconsistent, because He is precise. There are patterns that repeat until someone becomes the interruption, and the interruption is rarely loud. It's often a private change in your posture, a private refusal, a private boundary, a private forgiveness that didn't excuse anyone, but released your future from being chained to their behavior. You didn't just get through something, you changed the terms. You shifted the agreement you didn't even realize you were living under. The agreement that said, I must carry this. I must keep proving myself. I must keep returning to what hurts me because it's familiar. And when you stopped agreeing, internally in your spirit, the contract lost power. That's the kind of thing that breaks cycles for generations. Not speeches, not dramatic exits, a new inner law. Chosen ones, God is about to break His own rules for you. That doesn't mean God lowers His standards. It means God overrides a pattern that would have delayed you longer than it was supposed to. Because some delays aren't waiting seasons. Some delays are repeating seasons, and you reach the point where repeating is no longer an option. Here's what God's exception can look like in real life. It can look like you being taken seriously when you expected to be minimized. It can look like someone's ability to manipulate you suddenly failing, like their old tricks don't land anymore. It can look like a clean opening arriving without you having to beg, chase, or explain yourself into exhaustion. It can look like your nervous system finally calming down around a choice that used to make you spiral because your spirit recognizes safety. And sometimes the exception looks like God removing your tolerance for what used to drain you. Not because you became harsh, because you became honest. That's the upgrade many people don't understand. They think favor always feels like excitement. Sometimes favor feels like, I can't pretend anymore. Sometimes it feels like your soul refusing to cooperate with an old role. And that's not you losing your way. That's you graduating from the old script. My dear friend, you didn't just heal. You disarmed something. You broke the pattern that kept your bloodline cycling through the same emotional rooms. Shame, guilt, self-doubt, overgiving, silent punishment, trying to be loved through usefulness. And when you broke that, heaven registered it like a shockwave, because it wasn't just personal growth. It was spiritual authority forming in a human life. The kind of authority that makes you dangerous to old systems. Not because you fight them, but because you don't feed them anymore. Chosen ones, you became marked because you stayed aligned when it would have been easier to turn cold, cruel, or careless. And God noticed the exact moment you chose differently. The moment you stopped returning to what kept wounding you. The moment you chose peace with boundaries, real boundaries, not temporary moods. Those choices look small to people who don't understand spiritual math, but heaven counts different. Heaven counts purity of decision, not perfection, not performance, the purity of choosing what's true even when it costs your pride, your comfort, or your old identity. So here's what's coming next. You're about to see outcomes that don't match the old rules you lived under. Not because you're getting a free pass, because you're getting clearance. Like an upgraded badge that opens the right corridors and closes off the wrong ones. Like life stops entertaining distractions that used to waste your time. Like the path ahead becomes simpler. Not easier, simpler. My dear friend, I want you to know what makes this moment sacred. God doesn't make exceptions casually. He makes exceptions when a person becomes trustworthy with the next chapter. And trust looks like this. You didn't use pain as permission to harm. You didn't let disappointment turn you into someone unrecognizable. You didn't betray your own conscience just to feel powerful for one night. You held the line, even when nobody cheered, even when it would have been easier to numb out. And because you held the line, God is about to shift the system around you. Some blessings don't arrive as gifts. They arrive as recognition. Recognition that you're first of your kind in a certain way. Recognition that you can carry more without losing yourself. Recognition that you're ready for influence that doesn't poison you. And here's the part most people miss. God doesn't make an exception because someone asked louder. God makes an exception when someone becomes safe to bless. Safe, not perfect. Safe in the sense that the moment power touches your life, you don't use it to get even. The moment relief enters, you don't become arrogant. The moment you finally get room to breathe, you don't start spending your peace like it's disposable. That's why this is happening around you, because you've proven something in private. You've had opportunities to be petty, and you didn't take them. You've had chances to embarrass someone back, and you refused to become that kind of person. You've had moments where lying would have been easier, and you stayed clean anyway. God watches what you do when you're unseen, because that's where real authority is built. And authority is the whole point. Some people lose themselves the moment life speeds up. So God tests what you carry by watching how you move when nobody is rewarding you. You've been passing that test without even realizing it. Not with perfection, with restraint, with the way you kept your character even while your emotions were loud, with the way you didn't let disappointment rewrite your nature. Chosen ones, that's rare, and it changes how heaven treats your journey. Here's an image that explains it. Think about a circuit breaker in a house. When the current spikes, the breaker trips. It's a safety reflex, so nothing gets ruined. Some of what you called blocked, stalled, or heavy was God protecting what He planned to preserve. Because once a wire melts, repair takes time. Prevention doesn't. And lately, because of the way you've been moving, God has been adjusting what touches you. Not everything gets access to your emotions anymore. Not everything gets access to your attention anymore. Not everything gets access to your future anymore. That's the exception. And it's happening because you've been trustworthy. You stopped repeating what you inherited. That's bigger than most people understand. My dear friend, maybe in your bloodline, in your environment, in the way you were trained to survive, certain reactions were normal, certain compromises were normal, certain emotional debts were normal, and you quietly became the one who said, "This stops with me," without turning it into a performance. You didn't just walk away from a habit, you walked away from a pattern with history. That's why heaven registered it. Because when someone breaks a pattern without applause, they're not chasing validation anymore, they're ready for assignment. And please know this, the exception doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means life becomes cleaner, less wasted energy, less negotiating with what drains you, less living in fog just to keep other people comfortable. You start making choices that match your spirit, and the old pull loses strength. So from now on, move with composure. Let your next step be simple and clean. My dear friend, God made an exception because you proved something. You can carry more without losing yourself. And heaven builds futures on people like that. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. If this found you, it's because your spirit is exhausted from carrying what you were never meant to carry alone. And you already know what I'm talking about. It's that feeling in the morning where your eyes open, your mind starts running, and before your feet even touch the floor, you're already negotiating with life. You're already replaying conversations, already planning 10 moves ahead, already trying to protect your future from a problem that hasn't even arrived yet. You can smell the coffee, the room is still quiet, and yet inside you it's loud, like someone turned on a machine that won't shut off. But before you try to fix another thing, hear this clearly. God is not asking you to sprint. He is asking you to believe. So let me say it in the simplest, most honest way. You have one job, not 10 jobs, not 1,000 mental rehearsals, just one job. To believe that God already prepared a way for you. Chosen ones, your faith is real, and God honors it. So let me explain what a way actually means, because it's easy to expect a perfect map, a perfect timeline, a perfect set of instructions. That's not how it usually comes. God's way often shows up like this: a calm nudge that doesn't match the math in your head, a door that opens through a person you didn't expect, a sudden loss of taste for something you used to chase, an inner no that keeps you from walking into a trap with a smile on your face. The way is real, but it doesn't always arrive in a form that flatters your logic. And that's where many people get stuck, because it can start to feel like you have to force outcomes the same way someone tries to control their own heartbeat. Think about that. Imagine spending your entire day trying to manually tell your heart when to beat, your blood where to go, your lungs exactly when to breathe. You'd collapse from the effort. That's what life starts to feel like when we're trying to manage what only God can coordinate. Not because we lack wisdom, but because pressure convinces us that productivity equals safety. Like if we stay tense and busy enough, nothing can fall apart. If you've felt that before, you know it. It's micromanaging what only God can connect, time, and align. It looks responsible on the outside, but inside, it feels like choking. It feels like carrying a backpack filled with bricks you never agreed to carry. And here's the part that needs to land. Doing too much does not equal being faithful. Sometimes doing too much is fear wearing a productive outfit. Because fear says, if I don't control it, it won't happen. Fear says, if I don't rush it, I'll lose it. Fear says, if I don't figure it out today, I'm in danger. And the problem is, those thoughts can sound true at first. They sound like wisdom. They sound like being prepared. They sound like being responsible. But belief doesn't panic. Belief wakes up and says, God, I don't need the whole plan. I just need today's step. This is what alignment looks like in real life. It doesn't mean you ignore your responsibilities and wait around for something to fall into your lap. It means you move, without moving like someone is being chased. It means you take action that matches peace, not panic. Because there is a kind of action that comes from faith, and there is a kind of action that comes from dread. They can look similar from the outside, but the fruit is different. When action comes from faith, you still feel tired sometimes, but you don't feel poisoned inside. When action comes from dread, even your wins feel heavy, because you don't trust them to last. This is a person doing things out of dread. They send the extra message that ruins their dignity because they couldn't sit in the unknown for one more hour. They over-explain themselves in a conversation because they're trying to control how they're perceived. They keep checking the numbers, the views, the account, the updates, like certainty is hiding behind a refresh button. They keep applying pressure to people who already heard them the first time. And if any of that feels familiar, it's simply a sign you're ready for a calmer way to live. because that's not alignment. That's anxiety trying to build a house out of smoke. My dear friend, if you've been living like that for long enough, you start to feel a slow collapse. Not because you're weak, because your soul was not designed to be the manager of the universe. God did not create you to carry the weight of how. Your job is not how. Your job is yes. Your job is belief. And chosen ones, that is exactly why this matters. Belief keeps your spirit open. Belief keeps your ears sensitive. Belief keeps your discernment sharp. When you believe, you can recognize God's guidance when it arrives. But when you're frantic, you miss it. You override it. You talk yourself out of it. You label it irrational. And then you wonder why you keep ending up drained. We've been taught by the noise of the world to live, like every day is an emergency meeting with our future. Like the goal is to make sure nothing can go wrong. But the safest place you will ever stand is inside obedience, inside the step God is actually asking you to take. And here's the twist. The step is often smaller than our ego wants it to be. Maybe it's rest tonight. Maybe it's stop responding. Cleaning your space until it feels breathable again. Reading one page, just one, until your mind stops spiraling. Applying for the thing even though you feel unqualified. Forgiving quietly so your heart can unclench. And yes, sometimes God doesn't tell you the whole destination yet. Not because you're behind, not because you're failing, because He is preparing a surprise that would get ruined if you tried to control it too early. You know how a child can't sleep the night before a gift because they keep imagining it, touching it, shaking it, trying to guess it. Some of us keep shaking the box, and God is saying, stop shaking it. You're going to damage what I wrapped for you. So tomorrow, before you touch the phone, before you touch the worry, before you touch the mental chaos, try this. God, thank you for waking me up. I believe you're leading me. Give me today's insight. Give me today's step. And if you know someone who's been carrying too much in their mind, share this so the right person can find it. Now, here's where this becomes real, because believing is not a mood. Believing is not a sentence you say and then immediately forget the moment your phone lights up with something stressful. Believing is a posture you return to. It's how you respond when the day doesn't prove God's plan yet. Because there will be days where you pray in the morning, and by noon you still have questions. The bill is still there. The decision is still unclear. The relationship still feels complicated, and the mind tries to pull you back into that old habit. Tighten your grip, speed up, overthink, overdo. But this is where your faith becomes powerful. It's like holding a compass in fog. You may not see the whole road, but you can still keep walking in the true direction. So what does belief look like when life is still unfolding? It looks like you refuse to let panic be your leadership voice. It looks like you taking one clean step instead of 10 frantic ones. It looks like learning the difference between motion and progress. Because there's a kind of movement that burns you out and produces nothing but exhaustion. And there's a kind of movement that feels steady, quiet, almost simple. And somehow it opens doors. Here's an example. Belief looks like sending one clear message instead of 5 emotional ones. Belief looks like taking a breath before responding and letting your words come from stability, not urgency. Belief looks like logging off for an hour and noticing your body unclench, as if your nervous system has been begging you for permission to be safe. Belief looks like doing what's yours to do today and letting God handle what you can't reach from here. And I want you to hear this. Aligned action is not lazy. It's disciplined, because it takes discipline to stop feeding the spiral. It takes discipline to pray and then not take the prayer back with your thoughts 5 minutes later. It takes discipline to move through your day without treating every uncertainty like a threat. Chosen ones, some of the most powerful faith you will ever show is this: staying steady while the answer is still loading. Not because you're pretending nothing hurts, not because you're numb, because you trust the one who sees the whole picture. So, I want to give you a simple rhythm, something you can actually live. When you wake up, You already wrote the sentence, and it's perfect. God, thank you for waking me up. I believe you're leading me. Give me today's insight. Give me today's step. Then, in the middle of the day, when the pressure tries to climb back into your chest, pick one small action that matches peace. Not a dramatic overhaul. One small action. It might be making one phone call you've been avoiding. It might be stepping outside for 2 minutes and letting cold air hit your face like a reset button. And at night, practice a different ending. God, I did what I could today. I release what I can't control. Guard my mind while I sleep. Because sleep is also faith. Rest is not a reward you earn by worrying enough. Rest is how you signal to your spirit, God is still God, even when I'm not holding everything. And listen, there is something else that happens when you live this way. You become easier for God to guide. Not because he was distant before, but because you're not drowning out his direction with constant noise. Your discernment gets clearer, your timing gets cleaner, your yes gets stronger, and one day you'll look back and realize the way wasn't a perfect map. It was daily guidance, daily protection, daily shaping, quiet steps that stacked into a miracle. So if you feel like you're standing in the fog right now, don't demand the whole horizon. Hold the compass, take the step, and let your faith be your one job today. Because God has never needed you to be the architect of the outcome. He's only asked you to stay close enough to be led. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. It's not random that this message found you now. There are moments God schedules without putting them on a calendar, and your spirit recognizes them before your mind can explain them. Chosen ones, this is one of those moments, and it matters more than you know, because something in you is tired of living in rewind, and you already know what I mean. It's that quiet pressure that shows up when the house is finally calm, when the lights are off, when your phone screen goes dim, and suddenly your mind starts walking back through old doors, like it still has a key. What if I stayed? What if I left sooner? What if I said it differently? What if I took the chance? What if I waited? And it can feel so real, it's like your body believes it's happening again. But hear me clearly. Tomorrow ends a cycle you've carried for years. This is not about you being wrong at all. This is about you being ready to stop punishing yourself for being a real person in a real season with real limits. Because the truth is, you were right. You were right about what you felt. You were right about what didn't sit well in your spirit. You were right to choose the best you could with the information you had at the time. Some of you have been holding your past decisions up to today's clarity and then wondering why it hurts. That's like judging an old photo with a camera you didn't own yet. Of course it looks different now. You upgraded. You grew. You learned. And the only reason you can see more today is because you survived what you lived through back then. God saw that season. God saw what you knew and what you didn't know. God saw what you were carrying. God saw what you were trying to protect. God saw what you were trying to keep from breaking. And he never asked you to be flawless. He asked you to keep walking. The what-if loop is heavy because it keeps trying to hire your mind for a job it was never meant to do. It's your mind trying to redo a moment that already did its work. It's like reopening an old wound just to ask it to prove it hurt. And that's why you can love God, trust God, pray every day, and still feel stuck inside regret sometimes. Because you're faithful, and yet your mind keeps demanding a level of perfection that God never required from you. Tomorrow ends that cycle, not because tomorrow is magic, because tonight you can make a decision in prayer that sets you free. Tonight you can speak to God like this: God, you were with me in that moment. You know I did my best with what I had. Help me stop rewriting the past, hear you clearly now, and trust the choices I make with you. That prayer works because it aligns you with truth. And truth is this: you don't have to keep suffering to prove you cared. Some people think if they let go of regret, it means they're pretending it didn't matter. No, letting go means you're finally trusting that God can redeem what mattered. Letting go means you're finally allowing yourself to be guided forward instead of pulled back, because regret does something sneaky. It turns everything into second guessing. It makes you reread old messages, like there's a hidden clue that could save you. It makes you replay conversations while you're doing the simplest things: washing your hands, tying your shoes, making tea. It makes you look at your life now and still feel like you have to earn the right to move on. But you don't. And here's the part that heals people. If you could go back 1,000 times, with the same heart you had then, the same maturity you had then, the same resources you had then, the same pressure you were under then, you would make the same choice again. Because you were doing your best with the light you had. And that is not something to be shameful about. That is life. And God is not asking you to despise your past self. He is asking you to honor how hard they tried, and then stop dragging them like a chain. This is where trusting God connects to trusting yourself. Because God didn't only guide you around your decisions. He was shaping you through them. He was building discernment in you. He was building strength in you. He was building a deeper ability to hear Him in you. So when you say, "God, I trust you," but you can't trust yourself, it creates a split inside you. You feel like God is good, but you are unreliable. And that is not what God is teaching you. Chosen ones, the God who leads you, is not leading you into self-doubt. He's leading you into soundness. He's teaching you that your judgment is getting cleaner. Your instincts are getting sharper. Your inner yes is getting calmer. Your inner no is getting stronger. That's why tomorrow matters. Tomorrow is where you stop living like your past choices are still on trial. Tomorrow is where you stop asking, "What if I ruined it?" and start saying, "God carried me through it." Tomorrow is where you stop bargaining with old versions of yourself and start walking with the person you are now. So here's what you can do tonight. Simple, quiet, and powerful. Before sleep, give God one sentence that ends the replay. God, I release the version of me that keeps trying to redo what already taught me what I needed to learn. Then add this, and I bless the version of me who did their best. Because that version of you deserves peace, and you deserve to move forward without a ghost hand pulling at your shoulder. If you know someone who's been stuck inside that mental rewind, share this with them so they can breathe again. Now here's where this becomes lighter. Because freedom from the what-if loop isn't just a thought you agree with. It becomes a new way you carry your mind. Regret doesn't always show up as tears. Sometimes it shows up as hesitation, as double-checking yourself, as asking people what you should do, because somewhere along the line you stop trusting your own discernment. And my dear friend, you can trust God and still feel trapped in replay. That doesn't mean your faith is weak. It means your mind has been trying to protect you by rerunning old scenes, hoping the ending changes. But tomorrow is different, because tonight you can hand God the part that has been trying to re-edit your life. Here's a picture to hold. Regret is like keeping an old receipt in your pocket and pulling it out every day to reread it, hoping the numbers change. The receipt never changes, but your life does. Every time you reopen it, you don't heal the past. You interrupt the present. So what do you do when the replay begins? Not a speech, not an argument. A simple return. God, I learned what I needed to learn. I'm not going back in there again. Then give your attention a present task that matches peace. Something small that tells your body, we are safe right now. One slow breath with your hand on your chest. Maybe it's putting the phone down, drinking water, stepping outside for a minute. Small actions, but they retrain you to live forward. And if your mind says, But what if that decision changed everything? Remember, decisions always change something. God has never been shocked by your process. He is the Redeemer. He weaves meaning even through moments you didn't understand while you were living them. So, you're allowed to believe this now. You made the best decision you could make at the time. Even if you don't love the outcome, God still used it. God still covered you in it. God still shaped you through it. That is why you were right doesn't mean you never struggled. It means your spirit kept telling the truth inside the storm. The part of you that wanted peace was not lying. The part of you that chose survival was not weak. Chosen ones, tomorrow you don't treat old thoughts like a courtroom. You don't put your past on trial again. When the replay knocks, you can say, that season is complete. And then you move your focus to what God is doing now. Because the what-if loop has one hidden cost. It keeps your imagination working for your pain instead of your future. But God gave you imagination for vision. God gave you today for movement. So tomorrow can look like this. In the morning, pray like someone who is done negotiating with yesterday. God, you were with me in that moment. You know I did my best with what I had. Help me stop rewriting the past, hear you clearly now, and trust the choices I make with you. In the middle of the day, do one check-in. Hand on your chest and ask, am I moving from peace or am I moving from fear? If it's fear, don't punish yourself. Adjust. One clean step, a simpler response. At night, instead of replaying every moment, bless the day and release it. God, thank you for what you covered today. Thank you for what you taught me. I release what I can't control. Guard my mind while I sleep. And then sleep like someone who believes God is still working, even when you aren't. One day, sooner than you think, you will look back and realize the cycle didn't end because you finally found the perfect answer. It ended because you chose peace over punishing yourself. It ended because you trusted that God can guide you, and God can guide the version of you that is still becoming. So tomorrow, when you wake up, don't treat your mind like a problem to solve. Treat it like a place God is cleaning. Let tomorrow be the day you stop asking, what if I did it differently? And start saying, God, show me what's next. Because you were right, my dear friend. And now you're ready to move forward without looking over your shoulder. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. This message reached you at the perfect time, and that is not said lightly. Chosen ones, absolutely everything is connected, and right now, something in you recognizes the frequency of this before the first point is even made. That's why you're here. So, before anything else, all glory goes back to God, always. Holy Spirit, breathe through these words. Speak with precision. Touch the exact places that have been tired, confused, or quietly waiting. Let this message carry what it needs to carry. Now listen. Whether you're hearing this during the Christmas season, when lights are up, music is playing, families are gathering, and the world is loud with tradition, or whether you're hearing this on a random day when nothing feels special and your life feels like the same loop, this still applies. Because God does not need a holiday to schedule a turning point. God uses moments, and this is a moment. And please, once and for all, believe you are not ordinary. You are not an accident on the earth. There is a calling on your life, and you can feel it. Even if you've been tired, even if you've been distracted, even if you've been carrying things privately and smiling publicly. So do this with me if you can. Picture yourself living a life that feels so filled with purpose, like you are living in full alignment with God. See your life filled with divine opportunity, filled with provision, with abundance, with unconditional love, Let health come into view. Real health. The kind where your body doesn't feel depleted all the time. Because some people listening to this have been running on empty, and the soul has been trying to keep the body moving like a candle trying to stay lit in the wind. Now hold a clear image of a beautiful safe home. Consider waking up and the air in the room feels calmer, not because life is perfect, but because your spirit is no longer constantly bracing for impact. Let the morning begin without dread sitting on your chest. Imagine being in your mission. You feel it. You know it. You're not guessing anymore. You're not trying to force yourself into places that keep rejecting you. You're planted where you're meant to grow. Picture the right people around you. People who love you, appreciate you, protect your peace, and don't punish you for evolving. The right person. Your person. Let everything in your life feel right to you. And above all, see yourself truly connected with God. You can hear Him clearly. You know you are living intertwined in a divine partnership with your Heavenly Father. Hold that picture. Now, let this be true as well. Any adversity that comes your way, any struggle, any disappointment, any delay, any distraction, you are able to overcome it every single time, not by your strength alone, but with God. Because here's what needs to be spoken plainly. This can be you. That life you just pictured is not reserved for a better version of you. It's not reserved for people with an easier story. God didn't create you to live in non-stop suffering like it's your identity. God didn't create you to live on a flat line, existing, surviving, repeating. Yes, in this world there is adversity. There are battles. There are seasons that stretch you. But the point of the battle is not to keep you broken. The point is to become victorious with God. And here's where the meaning gets personal. Because the reason this year will be different is not that you suddenly became perfect. It's because the inner shift already started. The evidence is already in your life. There are things that used to entertain you that don't hit the same anymore. There are conversations that used to pull you in that now feel draining. There are environments that used to feel normal that now feel heavy, like your spirit is quietly refusing to live in the old temperature. That's not random. That's discernment growing. And chosen ones, this is where the everyday moments begin to expose what God has been building in you. You used to pick up your phone to check one thing, and suddenly it was 40 minutes later, and it felt normal. It felt automatic. But now you feel it happening while it's happening. A quiet awareness rises up in you and says, "This is stealing from me." And sometimes you still slip, but you don't stay there the way you used to. You come back to yourself faster. You used to sit down for a quick break and stand up somehow feeling more drained than before, like you rested, but nothing in you actually recovered. But now you can tell the difference between escaping and resting. Now your spirit starts craving a cleaner kind of peace, one that doesn't leave a residue on you. You used to tell yourself you'd start after one more video, one more scroll, one more distraction, and then the day would vanish without you even realizing it. But now it bothers you in a different way. Not shame, not self-hate, more like a holy discomfort, like your spirit refusing to waste what God is trying to build through you. You used to go to sleep with your mind still running, replaying, overthinking, absorbing too much noise. And you'd wake up already tired, like you never truly came down. But now you're starting to guard the doorway into your night. Even if it's not perfect yet, even if it's not consistent every day, there's a new instinct in you that wants your mind to be covered, your spirit to be settled, your rest to be protected. That's awareness. And awareness is the first sign that bondage is losing its grip. Because the enemy does not always need to attack you with chaos. Sometimes the enemy only needs to distract you, so you don't take action, so you don't make progress, so you don't step out of the comfort zone built by not trusting yourself and God. But distraction only works when it stays invisible. and it's not invisible to you anymore. Time and energy have started to feel sacred to you in a way they didn't before. Not because you became strict, because you became awake. So when you pull back from the noise, when you choose quieter mornings, cleaner nights, fewer open doors, this is not you trying to become spiritual. This is you responding to what God already placed inside you. And that's why 1 year from now will not look like the years before. Not because you will be untouched by adversity, because you will be different inside it. There's a new kind of steadiness forming, a new kind of self-respect, a new kind of obedience that doesn't need to announce itself. And it's happening in ordinary places, in the kitchen, in the car, in the shower, in the moment you almost react, but choose restraint. In the moment you almost spiral, but choose prayer. In the moment you almost abandon your own growth, but something in you stays. This is what co-creating with God looks like in real life. Not floating above the world, moving through the world with heaven in your chest. So let this land as a promise you can carry. The seeds already planted in you are not going to produce the same harvest you've seen before. And this is where heaven smiles, because that awareness you're carrying is not just self-improvement. It's the sign of a spirit that has stopped living on autopilot. My dear friend, if this word is strengthening you, let it be witnessed in the comments, so it reaches the one who's been praying in private and wondering if God still sees them. We both know you have been doing the quiet work for months already. Even in noisy seasons, God whispers direction clearly. You've been praying in ways no one sees, short prayers in the car, whispered prayers in the kitchen, prayers that don't sound impressive but are honest. You've been turning worship on in the background while life keeps moving, and somehow your chest gets lighter even when your circumstances haven't fully changed yet. You've been learning how to keep your faith even in the middle of disaster, learning how to let a sentence sit in your throat instead of throwing it like a weapon, learning how to walk away from what used to hook you, not perfectly, just differently. That is growth. That is purification. That is God strengthening your inner life. And the reason this year will be different is simple. The desire for a new life is finally being matched by new choices. Space is already being made, and it shows up in small places. A moment where you don't answer that message right away, and you ask God, what is wisdom here? A moment where you clean your space, not to be aesthetic, but because you refuse to live surrounded by heaviness. A moment where you go to sleep earlier, because you're tired of waking up feeling spiritually bruised. Chosen ones, these are not tiny choices. These are votes for the person you're becoming. And when God sees you choosing the higher way in private, He does not forget it. He builds on it. He multiplies it. He rewards it with clarity, with strength, with favor that arrives at the right address, because your life is finally aligned to receive it. So when the calendar turns and the same months return, it won't feel like repetition. It will feel like advancement, because you won't be the same person walking into them. There will be a day this year when you notice it. The old temptation shows up, and it doesn't have the same grip. The old fear speaks, and you don't obey it. The same pressure hits, and you remain steady. That's when you'll realize God has been rebuilding your backbone. And when that day comes, the only thing left to do is give God the credit. Holy Spirit, seal this word. Cover every listener. Strengthen their mind. Guard their sleep. Purify their desires. Remove what drains them and bring what nourishes them. Let their next steps be simple, clear, and protected. Let them recognize divine opportunity when it appears and give them the courage to walk through it. In your name, amen. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. God led you here because it's time for you to know this. There are moments when God doesn't explain what He's doing. He simply responds. And the way you recognize it is that it lands in you like a clean weight. Not panic, not hype. A steady knowing that makes you sit up straighter without trying. This is one of those moments. You know God loves you. He honored you even in seasons when you didn't even like yourself. And hear me clearly, you did not disqualify yourself. You didn't do too much. You didn't go too far. God has not been abandoning you. He has been holding you. Pause and let this settle deep, because there is a difference between asking God for a door and God placing His hand on your life and saying, "Thank you," as acknowledgement, as heaven marking the fact that you did something most people do not do. As challenging as it was, you held your ground when your emotions begged you to collapse. You stayed faithful when results refused to show up. You kept your heart from turning bitter in a season that tried to make you hard. And you didn't do it on a stage. You did it in kitchens, in traffic, in quiet rooms, in late-night overthinking, in the same routines that made you feel invisible. Some of you have been functioning on pure endurance. You're smiling on the outside, but inside you've been carrying that private question. Did any of this matter? You know that feeling, when you do the right thing again and again, and life still looks unimpressed. When your phone stays silent and the email doesn't come. When people keep misunderstanding you. When you're doing your best to stay kind, but you're tired of being strong like it's your job description. And here is what you need to understand. God does not miss what you survive. He doesn't overlook the days you had to talk yourself into getting up. He doesn't ignore the nights you whispered prayers through a dry throat because you had no pretty words left. He doesn't forget the moment you could have compromised, and you didn't. That's why this message feels right in your soul. Not everyone recognizes this kind of timing. Not everyone can hear this without turning it into noise. But you know the difference between content and a calling. And I'm telling you now, God is responding to your hidden faithfulness with visible movement. Picture this. You can't force your heartbeat to stay steady by staring at your chest all day. Your body already knows how to do what it was designed to do. In the same way, you don't have to wrestle God into remembering you. He already did. And when God says thank you, it's a sign that something has been approved in the unseen. And what was held back for the right time is about to step forward. People get this wrong because they think God's response always sounds like thunder. Sometimes it sounds like a sentence so simple it shocks you. I saw that. I counted that. Thank you. And when that is said, things start shifting, quietly at first. My dear friend, sometimes it takes stillness to notice what's changing, because the surface may look the same, but you can feel the difference underneath it. Your mind starts getting clearer, your appetite for certain distractions drops. You stop reaching for people who keep you in circles, and you don't feel the same attachment to what used to feel safe. Even your body can sense it, like you're standing in the same room. But the room feels smaller because you've outgrown it. That's not you being restless. That's God preparing you to receive without flinching. Because some blessings don't just change your schedule, they change your identity. And God refuses to hand you a new chapter while you're still thinking like the old version of you. Now hear this with precision. What's coming is not meant to crawl toward you. It's meant to arrive with clarity, with timing, with a kind of speed that makes you look back and say, so that's why it took so long. Life trained you to expect progress to come in tiny, painful inches, but God can bring a complete turn in a moment, without chaos, without confusion, by arranging the right conversation, the right invitation, the right opening, the right yes. And it won't feel random. It will feel matched, like it fits the prayers you stopped talking about because you got tired of explaining them to people who didn't understand your faith. Chosen ones, there is a reason the pressure increased right before now. That pressure was not proof you were failing. It was proof you were close. It was weight training for what comes next. Some of you have been in that strange space where you're doing everything you know to do, working, praying, improving, staying disciplined, And it still feels like you're pushing a boulder uphill. And now, God is not inviting you into another cycle of proving yourself. He's shifting you into a season of response, where doors start opening that you didn't have the energy to keep knocking on, where people start calling you back, where opportunities don't need chasing. They find you with your name already on them, where the right support shows up at the exact point you used to feel alone. And before we go any further, do this one simple thing. Send this message to one person you care about, who's been fighting quietly. Let it find them the way it found you. Because this isn't about ego. This is about God being consistent. Scripture says your Father sees what's done in secret and rewards openly. That means the part of you nobody acknowledged was still recorded. Your unseen discipline, your restraint, your forgiveness, your decision to keep going when quitting would have been easier. He saw it. So when you sense that thank you from God, don't rush past it like it's nothing. Don't treat it like another emotional moment that fades by tomorrow morning. Hold it. Because your ability to honor what God is saying right now affects how you walk into what He's releasing next. My dear friend, in the next stretch, you'll be tempted to do what you've always done. Overthink, second guess, scan for danger, prepare for disappointment just in case. That habit kept you alive in old seasons. It cannot lead you into the new one. So today, your assignment is not to work harder. It's to stay present enough to recognize what's opening, because what God is about to do won't always announce itself with fireworks. Sometimes it walks in wearing ordinary clothes, a sentence from a stranger, a call, a meeting, a sudden idea that won't leave you alone, a person who offers help without you even asking. And the moment will ask you one question. Will you step forward like someone who believes God meant what He said? In this season, you will start noticing that what used to trigger you can't hold you the same way. The same tone in someone's voice, the same delay, the same uncertainty. And instead of spiraling, you catch yourself breathing deeper. It's not that you stopped caring, it's that God is removing the hooks, and your discernment gets sharper. You'll read a message and immediately know, this is not for me. You'll feel an urge to explain yourself, then something steadier will say, be still. You'll walk into a familiar place and feel your spirit pull back, like your soul is stepping out of an old coat that no longer fits. God will start restoring your yes and your no, not loud or dramatic, just clean. You won't need 10 reasons anymore. You won't need to rehearse speeches in your head. You'll simply move with clarity, and that clarity will protect you. And you'll notice it in the details too. A call gets returned. A door that used to stall you suddenly moves. A refund, a payment, a solution. Even your sleep can change. Rest, fewer anxious replays, mornings where your chest feels lighter. Chosen ones, this is where many miss it. The blessing often arrives wearing responsibility. A door opens, but it asks you to show up on time. An opportunity appears, but it requires your attention. A conversation happens, but it requires courage to be honest instead of polite. God's favor is not a lottery ticket. It is a hand placed on your shoulder, saying, stand up, I'm with you, it's your turn. So as you continue, make room in your morning. Even if it's 5 minutes before your phone starts talking, sit with God in the quiet like you're letting your spirit drink water. Make room in your schedule by finishing the small tasks you've been avoiding. The loose ends, the unfinished paperwork, the message you keep postponing. Not because you're striving, but because you're preparing to move without dragging yesterday behind you. And make room in your heart. Some of you have been carrying resentment like a heavy bag you refuse to put down, not because you love it, but because you're afraid that letting it go means what happened wins. It doesn't. Forgiveness is not approval, it is release. Now hear this. When God says thank you, He is not congratulating you for being perfect. He is honoring your endurance, and he is signaling that the season of almost is ending. When the moment comes, don't delay out of habit. Respond with faith, not with panic. Take the step you've been postponing. Send the message. Apply. Ask. Show up. You will see it. You will feel it. And when the moment arrives, you won't need to beg yourself to step forward. You'll step forward like someone who believes God meant what he said. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.